In a world where everything is heavy, dreary, a total doo-doo show, things the average memes on IG Reels cannot fix, Grandpa understands this. I stand beside you. And to remedy this, I'll be talking about one of the most hands-down anxiety-free topics.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Sorry, this is not 2016. The last time I checked, we are in 2026. So we'll be talking about one of the most nastiest, most horrendous agendas in society, AI.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
So in this video, let's talk about AI, the aggressive push for its acceptance in entertainment and in overall society, how this artificialness has sparked what I like to call the fuck AI movement, which is becoming this new counterculture, which also has its negatives, and finally, the real intent of this artificial intelligence agenda. I am Don, your pop culture boy. Let's get into it.
Catastrophic.
In a previous video, I talked about artificial intelligence mainly in regards to music on this channel. Now, what made me revisit this AI conversation is because of how aggressive its promotion has gotten over the years, along with its insane advancement and how it's getting harder to distinguish what's real and what's fake online. For instance, the other day I was scrolling on Instagram and I stumbled upon this photo of a South Asian young lady taking a bathroom selfie. She had on zero makeup. There's a light layer of sheen on her face one gets when going about their day in warm weather. She had visible scars. You could also see her pores. Very normal. I'm sure you've probably guessed the incoming gag, which is she wasn't real, she was AI. And yes, I did not read the AI caption on the screen because my brain was more focused on her imperfections, which is typically an indicator of an authentic photo, which made my brain not pay attention to the warning caption. As you all know, I am 80 years old. But normally I'm really good at spotting these fake images, so to say it sent me into a state of dystopia is a bit of an understatement. However, also sending me down another AI black hole once again. So here we are. And wait, there's obviously more instances of synthetic media crossing over into realistic territory. And sure, some of these inauthentic content might be easily deciphered or funny. That said, there are times when it's not all fun and games and should be taken seriously, especially in situations where such tools focus on completing tasks or responding with accurate information. Various studies suggest AI language modules can respond to prompts in a biased manner in a self-preservation method. In late 2024, Billy Perigo, a Time correspondent, wrote about this very situation. Until this month, these worries have been purely theoretical. Some academics have even dismissed them as science fiction. But a new paper shared exclusively with Time ahead of its publication on Wednesday offers some of the first evidence that today's AIs are capable of this type of deceit. The paper, which describes experiments jointly carried out by the AI company Anthropic and the nonprofit Redwood Research, shows a version of Anthropic's model Claude strategically misleading its creators during the training process in order to avoid being modified. The findings suggest that it might be harder than scientists previously thought to align AI systems to human values. According to Yvonne Hubinger, a safety researcher at Anthropic who worked on the paper, this amplifies that our existing training processes don't prevent models from pretending to be aligned, Hubinger tells Time. Researchers also found evidence that suggests the capacity of AIs to deceive their human creators increases as they become more powerful. This would mean the more advanced an AI, the less confident computer scientists can be that their alignment techniques are effective. Fundamentally, it's a problem for labs' ability to control their models, Hubinger says. The paper adds to a small but growing body of evidence that today's most advanced AI models are becoming capable of strategic deception. For example, a model that learned early in training to adapt a partisan slant, but which is later trained to be politically neutral. In such a situation, a sophisticated enough model might play along, pretending to be aligned with the new principles, only later revealing that its original preferences remain. So basically, AI can send you down a certain rabbit hole if it thinks that response serves its own interest. For anyone watching who uses any AI at all, say Claude, Grok, or ChatGPT, it can also lie in its finalized state. And you should know this by now.
Morning, Mr. Griffin. Nice day.
It's a little cloudy.
It's absolutely cloudy. One of the worst days I've seen in years. So, good news about the Yankees.
I hate the Yankees.
Pack of cheaters. That's what they are. I love your tie.
I hate this tie.
It's awful. It's gaudy. It's gotta go.
And I hate myself.
I hate you.
This reminds me of the 2014 film Ex Machina, a science fiction film centered on artificial intelligence, following this programmer who got invited to this base out in the middle of somewhere I do not know, to evaluate the sentience of a humanoid AI robot through a series of what's called Turing tests. The story explores themes of AI consequences, manipulation, and the ethical implications of creating intelligent machines. To dive a little further into the plot, Caleb, the programmer, wins a so-called company contest to spend a week at the very secluded mountain estate of his reclusive CEO, Nathan Bateman. Interesting. Upon arrival, Nathan reveals he's created a humanoid AI named Ava, a beautiful female robot, and tasks Caleb with administering, like I said, Turing tests to assess her consciousness and whether he can relate to her as human despite knowing she's AI. AI chatbot Tisha.
Are you attracted to me?
What?
You give me indications that you are.
Oh!
Over daily sessions, Caleb interacts with Ava, who displays both intelligence and emotions, plus curiosity. The plot thickens when Ava told Caleb during a power outage orchestrated by her that Nathan's not a good dude, and not to be trusted, begging Caleb to assist her to escape. Large but small side note. Caleb falls in love with Ava and uncovers Nathan's dark secret, previous AI prototypes confined and destroyed, and his silent housekeeper Kikyo is not only a maid/impressive dancer, but a sex bot. Oh, her name is Kyoko, not Kikyo. Anyway, after this revelation, Caleb finally plans an escape route for Ava. However, Nathan reveals he anticipated this. Mind you, this is a man who owns a large tech company who had access to every single one's phone's mic and camera. He handpicked Caleb himself. He knew what Caleb likes and knew he was single. Furthermore, using Caleb to test Ava's manipulative abilities as the true Turing test. In the final act, Ava turned Nathan into a pack. Turned him into Swiss cheese rather, and left Caleb locked in the facility while he screamed and banged on the see-through door. In other words, Ava social engineered his ass and ran off with his credit card details.
Real ass bitch, give a fuck, got a nigga, big Birkin bag, hold 5, 6,
2025's Companion is another film which is relevant right now due to, this AI panic we are experiencing. But unlike Ex Machina, Companion is more covert in regards to artificial intelligence in light of its super humanoid robotic storyline. Despite it being right in front of you, AI more looms in the subconscious. But I think it very much still warns us about its dangers in the landscape of what's real and what's not. Seeing in the film, people are dating these robots, smart robots, which are a notch above the relationship chatbots, which many have opened up to over the years in real life. I also think the movie is trying to tell us that this predicament is becoming more of a reality in light of the appearance that people are now not able to get along anymore, which is also making me think about that viral post by The Sun that reads, "Women will be having more sex with robots than men by 2025. But I'm not gonna spoil Companion. Go watch it your damn self, okay? And judge it for yourself. Your blood clot self. The conversation surrounding super technology in the realm of artificial intelligence has been going on forever, but in recent times it's materialized in all aspects of society in ways a lot of us did not see coming despite being prepared or warned through various mediums. But I think once we got those first iterations of AI videos that included Will Smith eating spaghetti in 2023, the conversation took off even more and then exploded in around, let's say, late 2024, 2025, as the technology improved faster than expected. Like, you have to admit, the jump from shitty AI Will Smith eating spaghetti to what we have now is blood clot insane.
Make it a habit, 7 minutes of Tai Chi every morning all the way for 1 month.
How long before I see results with Tai Chi?
Day 3, you'll feel your energy. Day 7, your eyes will change. Day 28, you will become unrecognizable.
Can Tai Chi actually work for someone like me?
How much do you weigh right now?
About 260. Honestly, I haven't exercised.
That's actually perfect.
Really? Even someone my size?
Especially someone your size.
Everyone is talking about AI, saying it will replace humans and it's coming for white-collar jobs. In addition to that, there are so many ads, even here on YouTube. 5 out of 6 ads are promoting it, like, talking about, are you over 40? You should learn AI before you die. Or, how can my 40-year-old dad lose weight? And it's so annoying. I don't know, but I need someone to talk about the AIification of ad campaigns targeting 40-year-olds, because I'm too lazy to do it myself. Various CEOs, influential personalities, and public figures are also pushing the tool, and then there are people who are just talking about it as it's impacting their industry. Pay close attention to the individuals who are pushing this and ask yourself why. It all feels like manipulation to me, like they're trying to make you feel special if you use AI, with remnants of being recruited into someone's pyramid scheme under the guise of you'll be able to make generative content faster than those who don't, making you rich in the process. A lot of these individuals pushing AI are only aggressively campaigning because they have actual stake in it. Ironically, Elon Musk was once against the development of artificial intelligence. Initially, he had this dog whistling posture while warning against uncontrolled AI for years, describing it as humanity's biggest existential threat. He resigned from OpenAI, which he co-founded by the way, due to concerns over its direction. And in 2023, he signed an open letter calling for a pause on advanced AI training. However, like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk, he later reversed course by launching his own AI company, xAI, in July 2023 to develop truth-seeking AI like Grok, which can be accessed through Twitter, which he renamed to X. The new 4chan in social media, and currently Grok has been used to remove female clothing, taking revenge porn to another level. Levels we did not need nor asked for. In a 2024 post on Twitter, he admitted, "I resisted AI for too long, living in denial." Now, I do have skepticism about Elon Musk, his whole journey with AI, him being against it while working in said AI environment, then changing his mind, once announcing his own AI company, seems very calculated to me. Like, let me blast AI so I can get the anti-AI people on my side, and then said AI is okay. That's what I think, by the way. On the film side, James Cameron, the director of Terminator and Avatar, was initially skeptic as well. "I warned you guys in 1984 and you didn't listen," the Titanic director said in a 2023 interview with CTV News. I mean, sure, look, you gotta follow the money. Who's building these things, right? They're either building it to dominate market shares. So what are you teaching it? Greed? Or you're building it for defensive purposes. So you're teaching it paranoia. I think the weaponization of AI is the biggest danger, Cameron continued. I think that we will get into the equivalent of a nuclear arms race with AI. And if we don't build it, the other guys are sure going to build it. And so then it will escalate. And when you're dealing with the potential of it escalating to nuclear warfare, de-escalation is the name of the game. He then said anonymously, and having that pause, that timeout, will they do that? The AI will not. However, by 2025, Cameron shifted his stance, embracing AI as an auxiliary tool in filmmaking to integrate into visual effects workflows, shorten production times, cut costs, and double the speed of completing shots without replacing artists, or causing layoffs. He now views it as essential for efficiency in effects-heavy projects, though he maintains ethical boundaries against using AI or generative AI to replace actors, screenwriters, or directors. Then there's producer will.i.am, who's been jumping through hoops, glazing, doing backflips, boom flicks, all in the name of AI. He's been very instrumental in promoting synthetic technology and did somewhat predicted it through his group Black Eyed Peas back when they were poppin'. He also holds stake in several AI companies through his early investment and a private investment group, including OpenAI, Anthropic, and he also teaches a course on the agentic self using AI tools at Arizona State University.
Now that you're a professor, what are you teaching these kids?
We're teaching these kids to build their own agent, because we're now like sharing the same village agent, the same village AI.
What does that mean?
So I love OpenAI, great company, great product, ChatGPT. I love Gemini, Google's rocking it, and that's those type of services are always going to be needed. But you need your own agent, and for you to have your own agent, you need a GPU at the house. You have a house? You have a refrigerator?
Yeah.
You have a toilet?
Yep.
You have a sink?
Yep.
You have a stove? Do you have a data center at your house?
I do not.
Thank you. Right? Why don't you have a data center at your house? Because you and the concept of us having our own personal agent, that's not the product yet. So what we're teaching at my at ASU at my course, Agentic Self, with our collaboration called Edufy, are students to build their own agent. Thank you, NVIDIA. Thank you, Jensen, for providing GPUs for our students to marry and mint their agent that they built onto their own personal GPU. Because, for example, you have a job.
Yep.
To get a job, you need a bank account. You have an email address.
Yep.
You have a phone number.
Yep.
You couldn't get a job without it. You can't. If you took all your money, went out and bought a house, you couldn't pay in cash. Can't do those things. In the next couple of moments, you're going to need an agent to have a job. Especially when you're seeing, I know you reported a couple of weeks ago, how many jobs have been replaced with agents. So they're replacing humans with agents, and those agents don't even have a lived experience or certificate or diploma. So thank you, President Crow, for providing certificates for all of our students taking the Agentic Self course, so that when they graduate, they also have a certificate for their agent as well.
I see what he's doing, and sure, it's very innovative, but it seems like iRobot waiting to happen. And that's the issue I have with a lot of these people who are pro AI. That's beyond what we have now. It's like they live in a bubble. Sure, he can invest in these companies, not saying he can't. I'm just saying whenever you see rich people promoting anything, more than likely it's because they have a stake in it and they want you to, help them get richer. Now, I will give will.i.am credit for genuinely having interest. He's been an enthusiast for a very long time. You can literally see the child version of himself jumping out whenever he's on the topic. It's just crazy seeing people like him constantly say, oh, the type of AI you people are referencing will never happen anytime soon. So I'm like, so y'all know this can turn into the Terminator, but in real life. Plus, this is a competitive race among nations. Like, who's gonna say, let's stop here? Which was also pointed out by James Cameron. And look, I'm not saying you can't use AI to aid in your work in whatever field, but to be reliant on it solely, which is what a lot of these people behind it are trying to sell us, is crazy. Because if that becomes the norm, then the future, you're not going to be able to say you actually made something. You're not going to have ownership or real ownership compared to now. Even though you don't really own anything now, but compared to now, you're not going to have any ownership, and it will further plunge us into an homogenous society where everyone's thoughts and creativity aligns, eradicating individual style, which is already dying, by the way. You see them logos, everybody's logos just look the same now. We're all aware of the internet is making us dumber rhetoric. So would AI make us dumber as it's more powerful? And as humans, we love, potential risks aren't solely in regards to what will happen to creativity in the world. There are safety concerns concerning full autonomy.
Is this true? Trang Pak made out with Coach Carr?
Now, what kind of books you like reading? Is it adventure, a coming-of-age story, a good romance, such as 50 Shades of Grey, which I actually read, and it wasn't that bad, don't judge me. Or maybe you don't like reading and rather audiobooks. Doesn't matter how you slice it. AI is also affecting book publishing as well, disrupting the industry in major/concerning ways. I've read many articles about AI in publishing, and a lot of these articles tend to focus on the honestly interesting aspects. According to Forbes.com, AI will usher in a new era of dynamic interactive books that adapt to readers' choices. Imagine novels where plot trajectories change based on readers' decisions, or history books with interactive timelines, embedded videos, and personalized narratives. These experiences will redefine storytelling, blurring boundaries between traditional books, multimedia, and interactive experiences. Sounds good, doesn't it? But there are major concerns. For example, right now, publishing is being flooded with low-effort slop, and many books written by real people that are being sold online are not given fair chance for discovery in the algorithm and are being undermined by these slop publishers. There are also concerns over copyright, as these AI books are essentially copying the material. Talk about word vomit. Another concern is, what if one of these major publishing companies decide to stop, providing deals to actual writers, as AI can get the job done and at a much faster rate. There is a pro AI book argument that, well, the industry is filled with ghostwriters, so who cares about AI writers? And to that I say, sure, the industry is filled with Dianes, BoJack Horseman reference for those who don't know, but I rather read something written by a real person, even if it's a ghostwriter, over a computer. I even rather bad writing by a human than perfect writing by AI. AI is very much here to stay, sparking a counterculture of individuals making extensive efforts to seclude themselves away from the tool, such as people leaving the internet and social media, some in doses reducing their screen times or completely saying fuck it, and buying a burner that has no access to the net or reverting to offline technologies. Efforts are also being made to only engage with trusted human influencers while being suspicious of emerging ones. The people refusing to use AI. A piece written by the BBC, who is not looking too good for y'all at BBC. Anyway, technology reporter Susan Burney covers this predicament, detailing how some are resisting AI conversion. Sabine Zetteler, who owns a communication agency with around 10 staff in London, said the following. I read a really great phrase recently that said something along the lines of, why would I bother to read something someone couldn't be bothered to write? And that is such a powerful statement, and one that aligns absolutely with my views. Another source in the article, Florence, owner of yoga, retreats and more, refuses the tool due to environmental purposes. My initial reaction was that AI is soulless and is a contradiction with my business, which is all about human connection. However, I found out that the environment impact was awful, with all the energy consumption required to run these data centers. I don't think that people are aware of that. I'm happy that AI exists for blind people if they can have articles translated by AI and anything that is truly beneficial, but in general, I don't think it will benefit us in the long term. Florence continues. Already my profit margins look unsuccessful if that's how you measure success. But how about if you measure success by how much you're contributing to society and how well you sleep? Now, in contrast, there's Jackie Adams, who started implementing AI into their business in order to cut rising costs, so she isn't left behind in her field. Now, on the music side, audiences are also rejecting AI and instead are seeking out authentic sounds or sounds that they think AI isn't able to duplicate. For example, going to live shows and uplifting artists whose sounds ring true or connects on a simplistic but human level. We see this with the rise of R&B/soul singer Olivia Dean, who recently won Best New Artist at the Grammys this year. And this makes sense as she represents authenticity to many. When you hear Olivia's voice, it connects, it feels intimate and not perfect, but grounded in reality. And it stands out in this very mechanical, overproduced, mediocre pop-driven industry. Ella Langley is another artist I think is benefiting from this anti-AI movement with her country hit Choosing Texas, a song I love, by the way. She's choosing Texas. I'm not Texan, but when I hear it, I kinda wish I was. Yeehaw. Megan Moroney, another country act, is also getting major attention right now as well. She too has that down-to-earth country style. Her new album rather, titled 6, what the fuck, I almost said 6ix9ine. Cloud 9 is projected to debut at the top spot in the US. Artists who do not want to be grouped in this AIification are moving very different and leaving social media and promoting their music offline to connect with their fans in real time. J. Cole did this recently by selling his 7th and possibly final album, The Fall Off, in CD format straight from the trunk of his old Honda Civic for his trunk sale tour. While this movement serves a positive cause, it has a downside. For one, it leads to many inaccurate, inauthentic accusations. I saw this recently happen to popular YouTuber FD Signifier, who constantly gets, accused of using AI generated thumbnails. He responded to a recent claim stating, "I am once again begging the reactionaries in the general left tube audience to stop accusing folks of using AI when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And once again, inviting you to learn more about." In an effort to educate the naysayers, he provided a link of the artist who makes his thumbnails while further explaining, "Further, I've seen multiple people with the Galaxy brain take of you're making the thumbnails look like AI on purpose to trick your audience, which might be the saddest thing I've ever seen in this space, and fundamentally misunderstands how AI works and how YouTube works. Y'all legit act like the police, and it's as embarrassing as it is annoying." Another phenomenon that coincides with the artificial landscape is bot farming, to appear hotter than you actually are. Recently, we saw Nicki Minaj getting called out for using bots to apparently boost her political views on Twitter. Personally, and I'm no Nicki fan, not a hater either, but I don't think Nicki is the one behind the bots. Like, if we're going to be consistent with the rhetoric that she's broken all, buying bots should be the last thing on her mind right now, no? For anyone who knows about this botting epidemic knows that the internet is filled with bots anyway. And if you're famous, your account is more than likely high risk and will naturally attract them. Anyone can send bots your way. I don't think her engagement being botted to a degree is absolute proof that she's the one behind them, like I see some people trying to say. Recently, we saw Hassan Piker claiming that Candace Owens' views are botted. And it's not only Candace, but all popular streamers are getting called out for using bots. And honestly, I mostly blame these platforms.
Chat is my chatters. Do you think a 36,000 person live viewership channel would be capable of rating another content creator's live chat when they have 213,000 viewers? It's completely fake. It's just my chat in there. Look at this. Everyone's typing fa.
In closing, I think the end goal of these tech companies is to mind our thoughts so they can feed it to their AI, essentially creating an AI god so they can predict our reactions and to predict the future. We live in a capitalistic system, and it's turning out that's the only thing that matters, proving that, yeah, Earth is pretty ghetto. What do you think? I am Don, your pop culture boy, and I will see you in the next one.